As we all know, the Ukraine and Russia war has everything to do with Europe and nothing to do with America. It has nothing to do with the American taxpayers. They shouldn't have to fill out any sort of money towards either country, or even to Europe, but yet America does every single year. Europe goes to Trump and goes to America and says, "We need more money, please, sir. We need more armaments. We can't cope, but we want to continue the war." Trump, the President of the United States of America, that's won by a massive mile, turns around to Europe and says, "No, I don't want that. I am not willing to give you a penny more. I'm not willing to give you any more armaments until we're looking at a peaceful resolution. I want peaceful talks." Europe says, "Oh, no, sir, you are a Russian agent. You must not act this way. We need more war. We need to make sure that we kill Putin."
Man, I really stand with Ukraine. I wonder if people know just how much I stand with Ukraine. Maybe I could... I did it. I really did it. Now people know I'm a good person. Oh, no. How is this possible? I can't be drafted. I'm 40 years old. I have kids. I was recently hit by a bus.
Voting actions had consequences. That the likes of Dan Hodges, that decides to tweet to say that, Trump is a really bad guy and he just wants to ruin Ukraine and doesn't give a crap about any other people that are dying. If only they had consequences and they had to go to the front line, wouldn't that be interesting? The likes of Dan Hodges tweets here, Trump's strategy is becoming clear. Withdraw support to give Russia an opportunity to secure as much land as possible. Can you believe the audacity of this man? Seriously, he hasn't got the faintest clue. He hasn't been to Ukraine. He hasn't got a clue about Trump. He hasn't got a clue about Trump's idea in reference to the Ukraine. He's just putting out things out of his arse and talking the biggest load of bollocks going.
Biden is to blame for this and nobody else, not Trump. Trump's trying to fix it.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I don't,
Well, Biden was the president, so I don't know.
Yeah, Biden was the president, and because Trump got thrown out by the American people, and one of the reasons he got thrown out by the American people is I think the American people thought he was getting a little bit cozy to Putin, and as we can see, he is getting cozy to Putin, which is why he's currently involved.
No, he wasn't
in
thrown out by the people. More people voted for him in 2020 than did in 2016. But that's another story. We don't retread all of that. But I don't think anybody voted for Joe Biden because Trump was getting too cozy to Putin. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say. The bottom line is that Trump doesn't like war. He doesn't believe in war. When he was president in 2016 to 2020, there were no wars.
Dan Hodges is a middle-class journalist. Well, he calls himself a journalist. I may have called him a few other different things in the past due to the fact of the way that he tweets and annoys the crap out of me. Don't get me wrong, I never want to stop his free speech, even though he's the kind of person that wants to do exactly that to me and to many other people across the world. He's always very, clear that he's happy for people to go into war for his own agenda, for what he believes that people should go in for war. But he would never be the first person to maybe get a flight to Ukraine and actually go to the front line and get a machine gun and fight the Russians. He would never do that. And he would never want any of his children or family to do that. But he would purposely even shout at people or argue with people to say that they should send their children, their family, their brothers, their sisters and everything else into a war when the likes of Trump is asking for peace. So when you have like the middle class, especially the Brits, the UK, don't even get me started, shouting for war, and the likes of America asking for peace, and because America's asking for peace, the leader of that country has been told that he's a Russian agent. You've got to understand what side you need to be on and what side of history is going to really hit you the most. But the fact is, the likes of Dan Hodges and many other people, even the likes of Julia Hartley-Brewer, who 99% of the time I would listen to and agree with, she tends to be a quite sensible woman, would go down the lines of wanting to destroy a country even more, make even more innocent people die, rather than listen to the leader of a country, the leader of the free world, to exactly how he can change things so people don't die. That's the question you need to ask yourself.